Hey all, the first few parts may not sound as good as the other parts do. That was mainly because I was in my room back at home. But just know that each time the parts get better. I hope it's not that unbearable. Thanks so much for understanding. Hey all, today I'm going to be reading a Naruto fanfic online called The Red Flash of Konoha, Itachi Uchiha fanfiction. Essentially, this is what if Naruto had a sister, and this is on Wattpad by Urieccentric. I will go ahead and leave the fanfic in the description below. What if Naruto Uzumaki had a sister that he never knew she existed? Her name is Minako, a kunoichi, Jinchuriki, and the reincarnation of Uzumaki Mito. Namikaze is her maiden name, and she's blessed with the Uzumaki blood. Uchiha is her last name. Care to find out how and why? Chapter 1, First Encounter. I'm just waiting for my mother to finish the dishes, and then we're going to the playground while mother will be with her friend. Mina-chan, come on, let's go, mother said. Yay, bye papa. Me and mama will see you later. I waved goodbye to my papa while he waved back and said, take care you two. Oh, we will, mother said. A few minutes later, Kushina, a lady with raven hair called. Makoto, sorry to keep you waiting, mother said. Oh, don't worry, we just got here. So, this is your little girl, huh? She's a spitting image of you, she said and looked at me. My mother laughed a little and said, she's only got my hair and attitude when I'm angry, you know? By the looks of it, she does have Minato's face, especially her eyes and nose, Makoto-san said. What's her name? She said. Do I have to introduce myself? My name is Namikaze Minako, Makoto-san, I replied. Makoto-san smiled. What a beautiful name you have, Minako. I smiled and looked at my mother as she smiled back. My mother and Makoto-san were talking about clothes, babies and such, while I was looking at a raven-haired boy by the swings. Who's he? Mama? I called. Yes, Mina-chan. I pointed at the boy and asked, who's he? Oh, that's Itachi, Makoto's son, she answered. Can I play with him? I asked Makoto-san. Sure, go ahead, Makoto-san smiled. I looked at my mother for permission. She smiled and said, go on, have fun. With a huge smile on my face, I let go of her hand as I ran as fast as I could. Be careful, okay? My mother shouted. Okay. When I arrived at the swing, I took the one next to him. He didn't mind me though. He's just looking at the environment. I want to catch his attention, but I'm too shy to do so. What do I say? Hi, too common, and he might ignore me. The surrounding is beautiful, isn't it? I said. Oh yeah, it is. Life around us is beautiful. He looks at me. What brings you here? He's actually talking to me. I'm here with my mother, I answered as I pointed to her. Oh. Do you want to play with me? Huh? Oh, sure, he answered, making me more confident. What do you want to play? He asked. Depends on you. What game should we play? Oh, I know. Let's play Ninja, he said. Perfect. Oh, by the way, I'm Itachi Uchiha, he introduced. Well, I'm Namikaze Minako. After that, we played Ninja and we learned a lot from each other. We played Ninja after an hour or so. To rest, we sat by the wooden playhouse. Itachi, you were unfair, I yelled at him. No, I wasn't. Yes, you were. No, I wasn't. Yes, you were. No. Yes. Fine. Maybe I was. I smiled. Maybe? He looked at me and said, okay, I was unfair. I giggled and celebrated victory while Itachi only smiled. We continued the talk about everything around us. Then it changed to eyes. And whose eyes were beautiful. Mina, you do have beautiful eyes, he said, making me blush. I was going to say something, but my mother called me. It was time to go home. As if on cue, Itachi's mother also called him. Both of us went to our mothers. I finally have a friend. Goodbye, Makoto. Goodbye, Itachi. I waved goodbye. Makoto-san and Itachi smiled and waved. Going in separate ways, I looked back to them, seeing that Itachi was doing the same thing. I waved at him, then he shouted, "Bye, Mina." making me smile, and I did the same thing, even though I already did it. As we were going home, my mood never changed. I finally have a friend. Chapter 2. One day. "Oto-chan, you're too fast," I yelled at my father. "You have to get used to it, Mina-chan," my father said and smiled. That made me angry and threw a special kunai at him. Knowing that it will not hit him, I purposely threw it slightly off him. Making my father smirk, it was now or never. I focused all of my chakra and used a space-time ninjutsu that my father commonly uses. The Flying Thunder God technique. I didn't know that I closed my eyes, and when I opened them, it actually works! I did it! Yes! My inner self celebrated. My father was shocked and was too late to turn around. Or so I thought. I kicked him, but because of his fast reflexes, he managed to grab my leg, turning me upside down. I quickly and so quietly grabbed the bells, which I managed to before the second he remembered the bells. I teleported at the tree where my kunai was, then held up the bells in front of my father and shouted in victory. Haha! I got it! Making my father huff and smile in defeat. "You've improved. I'm proud of you," he said and smiled. I smiled back. After all the training with Shisui and sparring with Itachi, I got the bells. And I'm not even in the academy yet. "So we can have lunch now, Oto-chan?" I asked him. I did get the bells. "A deal's a deal. Now let's have lunch," he enthusiastically said. Surely, my mother's cooking is to die for. As we were having lunch, it was so peaceful, yet outside of Konoha, there's an ongoing war. I wonder why my father is here. He's supposed to be in the war. Well, I'm not complaining that he's here, all safe and sound, but he is one of the best shinobi in Konoha. And he is the fastest shinobi in this time, and also famed with the name Konoha's Yellow Flash. Well, that's what Haha said. "Oto-chan, is the war still ongoing?" I asked. "I'm afraid so," he replied. "And why are you curious about it?" "Oh, it's just that you're in Konoha and not outside," I trailed off. "I was called by the Hokage to be here for a while. I might be sent off with my team out there in a matter of a few days," he replied. "Oh. Oto-chan, can you teach me another jutsu?" I asked. "Huh? You just learned a space-time ninjutsu and did an amazing fire-style ninjutsu, and still you want to learn more?" he asked. So this is Minato talking. "So what Jiraiya-sama said was true. You're a combination of me and Kushina, and how you're a natural prodigy." I inwardly sigh, ready to give up, but then I remembered. Where did she learn that fire-style ninjutsu? "Mina-chan, where did you learn that fire-style ninjutsu?" I asked. "Oh, from my friend Shisui," she answered. Oh, I remembered her saying that name. And Uchiha. That's why she was able to learn it and have a good aim. Do I have any choice at all? If I don't teach her something, she might get sad, and I don't want my little girl sad. She's just 4, damn it. And if she gets angry, she's like Kushina. Cue an angry Kushina, which would probably be scary. I don't want that either. I inwardly sigh. What do you want to learn then? That ninjutsu that makes clones of yourself or things, you know? I'm surprised. Does she really want to learn the shadow clone jutsu? It may be too advanced for her. But then again, she did learn a space-time ninjutsu. Well, shadow clone jutsu, huh? I asked. Yep, that one. Okay, if she really wants to. Alright, I huffed. She shouted in excitement and celebrated. No words could describe how I'm proud of you, Minako. This is Minako talking now. My father has been sent off to war, bringing his team and his students. I sighed. I hope they're safe. I grabbed my special kunai that my father gave me as a gift. I took a glance at it and put it in my pouch. Mama, I'm gonna go meet Shisui. I'll be home before dinner. I bid farewell to my mother. Oh, okay. Be safe and careful. I will. A few minutes later. Shisui, how did you do that? I asked as he showed me how to have a bullseye with 3 kunais. It's easy. It's just He trailed off. That. An hour after training, Shisui said something about life and death, and then about the war. I couldn't agree more. He was right about everything. Is there even an era where there's no war? Will the people around the world just stop fighting and just talk it over? There's no need to fight and have bloodshed, casualties, or death of someone dear to their hearts. When will people find peace? When will people stop fighting and be friends? I was so busy thinking I didn't notice Shisui calling me. Minako! Oh, huh? You're overthinking, aren't you? No, I was just thinking. Really? Well, anyway, if you don't mind, what are your plans for the near future? He asked. I want to be the Hokage, I excitedly say. One day, I'll become Hokage and make peace to every single land on the world. There will be no war, and everyone can live peacefully. One day. Just one day. Chapter 3. The End of the Beginning. We were at the cemetery to honor those who died in the war, all of us in uniform, wearing all black. Everyone was bowing their heads. A lot of shinobi and kunoichi were lost, including one of my father's students, Obito Uchiha, which my father blames himself for his death. I mean, he shouldn't blame himself for Obito's death. A few minutes later, everyone started talking to each other while I was looking at Itachi in a distance. He was with someone. Someone who is white as snow, raven-haired, tallish, and chest-length hair. I wonder who that is. He looks creepy. I looked back at my parents and Kakashi. My father said that Kakashi got his left eye scratched out by a weapon. Possibly a kunai, but Obito gave his Sharingan to him as a gift. Kakashi's just a boy who's years older than me, but here now, he's a hero for saving Rin. Also, Obito as well. He's a hero for me. A few days later, the third Hokage resigned and chose my father as the fourth Hokage. I hugged my father and shouted, "Congratulations, I'm so proud of you, Papa," as he hugged me back and then carried me while hugging my mother. "I'm so proud of you. You made your dream come true," my mother said. "I wouldn't achieve it without you," my father said. They were leaning for a kiss, but I was wiggling around to catch my father's attention, which I managed to. There shall be no kissing in front of me. Mina-chan? My father exhaled. What, Papa? I innocently smiled. My parents looked at each other, planning something. Before I knew it, both of them kissed both my cheeks, and I giggled. I grabbed my mother around her head while my other arm around my father's neck and hugged them both. "I love the both of you," I said. My parents laughed and responded, "We love you more." 6 months later, almost everyone calls me Lady Minako. I don't know why. I didn't do anything. Anyway, my mother is having a baby. In other words, I'm gonna be a big sister. On the other hand, my father, the fourth Hokage, assigned Kakashi as a secret watcher for my mother and me. And sometimes he would ask Kakashi to take me home after I visit my father from his office, which is happening now. Kakashi? Can I ask you a question? I asked. Well, sure, go ahead, he said. Why do people, including yourself, call me Lady Minako? I looked at him. You see, you're Lord Fourth and Lady Kushina's daughter, making you more special or in a higher rank than most people, he answered. But I don't want to be treated special, nor want to be labeled the fourth Hokage's daughter. I halted, making him stop and shocked. But I don't want to be more special than other people, I whispered. Kakashi, can I tell you something? I said. Huh? Well, sure, he responded. But can we go to a quiet and isolated place where there's no people around us? I asked him. I don't think that's a good idea, he answered. Oh, come on. I put on my puppy eyes. Please, please, please. This is Kakashi talking. Oh, come on. This girl is mysterious. Is it really important that we go to a quiet place? Lady Kushina would kill me if she isn't home in an hour and a half. But then again, maybe it's really that important. Are you going to tell me a secret? I asked. Something like that. I do have an hour and a half. Come on, Kakashi-kun. I promise to say something if we're ever late and my mother gets angry at you, she said. She's clever. I don't have a choice, do I? Lord Forth already told me some things about Minako, and I don't want to get beaten by a girl who's younger than me. Well, if you say so, I said. All right, come on. She grabbed my arm and pulled me. Where is she taking me? A few minutes later, we sat at a bench on a playground. There's no people at all. How weird. Kakashi-kun? She called. Oh, yes, my lady, I jokingly said. Can we have an agreement where you only call me by my name and vice versa? And do you remember when you disliked me calling you Kakashi-kun? She's right. Well, sure, Minako, I answered. Great. Now, can you keep this a secret from everyone, including my parents? She pleaded with puppy eyes. Huh? Keeping a secret from Lord Forth? This is going to be hard. I'm not sure. Keeping a secret from the Hokage is a bit tricky. Well, it can't be that hard, she said. You don't know that. Fine, I said. And that pretty much concludes part 1 of What If Naruto Had a Sister, or The Red Flash of Konoha, an Itachi Uchiha fanfiction. So far, I'm really enjoying this, and I like the fact that we have a ship between Itachi and Minako. I think this is really, really adorable, and I cannot wait to see what happens with Naruto in the next part. I'm really excited to read the rest of this part. But if you guys want to go support the writer, their work is in the description below. And in the next part, I will be starting chapter 4. So that said, I will see you guys next time.